think it can be portrayed in a positive way. I think probably more recently in the last few years. But I do think that it doesn't create necessarily better understanding. I think it's quite often stereotypical, so it kind of boxes people into certain sort of categories rather than understanding that mental health is obviously an individual issue. But I do think it is more positive that it is being portrayed, full stop, and you do have television programmes that are trying to address mental health issues. So at least people have an understanding that actually that is something that might need to be addressed in society and something which does affect a lot of people and can affect them in terms of their life and in terms of their achievements.
I think it's portrayed quite positively. And I think it's been dealt with, there's a lot more insight into it now, and people are much more aware. So yeah, I think it's a lot more positive now than maybe when it was 10, 15 years ago. So yeah.
I think because you've got like lots of different soaps and all that, so I think they do pick up a wide, like the bullying side of it, the caring side.
I'm not even too sure. It depends what kind of mental health. Mental health can be anything. It can be whether you're feeling happy or sad or whatever. And people feel happy and sad all the time in the media.
I think that mental health is portrayed in the media in a range of ways. Firstly, the most obvious way is the stereotypical, oh, it's crazy, or Brad Pitt going, etc. In various roles. Someone's crazy, somebody has mental health issues, he's locked up and wears a straitjacket and does, bonkers things. That's an easy shortcut, a stereotype of representation, which is often the case. However, particularly recently, there are more detailed and more accurate depictions of mental health issues. There are obviously documentaries which explore people with various mental health issues, and there are good portrayals where people research properly and serious actors take the time and then the effort to look into different issues and study them in order to mimic them accurately. So I think there's obviously there's shades of grey in between the two extremes as well, but I think the most common one is obviously the stereotypical nutter, if you will, the cuckoo's nest kind of guy who is insane for whatever reason, and there are increasingly more what I guess are genuine depictions of mental health. And then stuff in between, but most of what I see is one extreme or the other, like an honest, researched or a genuine reflection, or a real extreme simplification. I'm thinking of Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys or whatever, where I'm crazy, that kind of nut house, and and everyone's wearing white. American Horror Story is another sort of good example of people are crazy, they're locked up, and they they do these insane things, and I think that's a very common and a very simple and easy stereotype.